What's up everyone, Alex here, and today I want to talk about the new cursor functionality that the latest Warframe patch introduced to consoles. There's been a lot of frustration coming from the community, of which I am a part of the introduction of this feature. But I think that with a few tweaks from the developers that this system can work for console players as well. In this video, I'm going to show you what has changed and maybe propose some solutions in how these could be handled better. Number 1. Allow for D-pad selection to auto-scroll items. When the cursor gets to the edge of a long list, like browsing mods or blueprints to replicate in the Tenno lab, the page won't move to the next set of items. You're forced to use the right stick to scroll. A good solution to this is to detect the selected item's location relative to the list and allow for the items to auto-scroll. Number 2. Remove/hasten the cursor animation when using the D-pad. The speed with how the cursor moves currently goes against the kind of snappiness we've been used to, and by just warping the cursor to the next item or making the animation play faster, will help with the feel when we're trying to select something. As of right now, it just feels really sluggish. Number 3. If you still want to have drag and drop, also allow for the option to bring back the old way of assigning mods. For people unaware, assigning mods were as easy as marking an empty mod slot, then selecting the mod you'd like to place in said slot. As of this patch, you now have to drag and drop mods into empty slots. Dragging and dropping has always been and forever will be a counterintuitive process to do on a controller. Many games have tried it and failed, and many others who use cursors, Destiny comes to mind, have avoided it. There are valid reasons why this has been avoided historically on consoles, and it doesn't make these processes any better than they were. Number 4. When going into a menu, set the cursor to the first selectable option in that menu. This could be a toggled option, as maybe some users don't want their cursor to move after a selection. But when you open a menu, I'd like the cursor to snap to the very first option. Having to press the D-pad just so that I could get my cursor onto my selections is yet another additional step that we never had to make before. Number 5. Bring back face button hotkeys. I'm a newbie in Warframe, so at first I actually never cared for this option when someone suggested it. But in hindsight, the longer I play the game, the more I've realized how intuitive this option is going to be over time. And even after using the new system for a few hours, I just want it back. There's something to be said about muscle memory, especially if it only takes a few button presses, and these hotkeys really helped us to get a lot of stuff done. To be perfectly clear, I'm not condemning the developers for trying something new, but there's been a lot of cases where UI console usability has been established in many other games outside of Warframe. The community misses the responsiveness of its UI, and we're hoping that the developers will opt to fix this problem soon rather than waiting until after TennoCon. It's a big deal. This adds unnecessary minutes and seconds to a game that already takes up a lot of our time, and it's taking those minutes and seconds away from parts of the game that are supposed to help us jump back into it with improved stats. What do you think of these cursor changes, and how would you fix them, apart from reverting back to the old system? Let me know in the comments below, and let's make sure that while the developers are hearing us, that we're also giving them constructive feedback and criticism so that they can make the necessary adjustments in future updates. If you want to add me on PSN, my name is EternityInBlack. Also, I'll be making some Warframe content in the future, as well as cover games like Yakuza, Final Fantasy XIV, RPGs, and co-op games. So if that's your jam, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your time, fellow Tenno.